On the show today, we follow the Big South Conference all-time sack leader as he continues his pathway towards the NFL.
And one of the winningest college football coaches of all time stopped by Liberty's campus this week. We'll tell you why. That all ahead, Game 1 starts right now.
What is up? Welcome to another fun-filled edition of Game On. She's Kayla Thomas, I'm Tyler Decker, and for the next half hour, we'll be bringing you some great stories from around Liberty athletics and beyond.
And today we begin on the gridiron as the Flames football team is in the midst of its spring practices. And it's a spring that features some of the notable changes from the years past.
Yeah, you mentioned those changes, the biggest of which come on the offensive side of the ball. The Flames not only have to replace one of their best quarterbacks in program history, but also have to adjust to a new offensive coordinator this spring. To softball now, this week featured a matchup of the top two teams in all of the Big South, as Liberty traveled to Longwood. This would be a tightly contested series. The Lady Flames would take the first game 2-1, thanks in large part to the complete game effort from pitcher Julio DiMartino. Game 2 would go the way of the Lancers, as they took it by the final of 3-1. And then the rubber game. It would be heartbreak city for Liberty as they took a 3-run lead into the final inning, but Longwood would tie it up and then win it on a walk-off home run. The Lancers win the series 2-1 and now firmly atop the Big South standings. What's up? Welcome to Game On, your home away from home. Alongside Rachel Carney, I'm Tyler Decker, and we have a great show lined up for you today.
Yes, we do. And even though we're still in the spring sports season, football is king. So that's where we begin today.
On the show today, we recap the Liberty football spring game, and we bring you a one-of-a-kind interview with head coach Turner Gill.
That, plus two Liberty teams were trying to punch their tickets to the NCAA regionals. We'll get you caught up in all the action. Game On starts right now.
We just heard from Turner Gill, and now we welcome in Margot Gill, Coach's daughter and a contributor to the show. And Margot, recently you led our cameras into your home to see a side of the Gill family we haven't gotten to see before. Still to come, Liberty Golf claimed a conference championship this week. We sit down with head coach Jeff Thomas.
And we unveil this week's top performers in Warm, Hot, and Fuego. That's when Game On returns.
One thing that holds true across all sports at all levels is that it's difficult to win on the road. And this year, the Liberty baseball team has experienced that firsthand. The Flames traveled to Campbell this past weekend for a 3-game Big South tilt, and runs would be hard to come by. The Campbells would take each of the first 2 games by identical 2-1 scores. Before the Flames broke through in the third game for a 3-0 win, DeGroat, Helsel, and Quarterly combined for that shutout in that one to help salvage the final game. Thanks as always for making us a part of your day. Alongside Rhett McGibbon, I'm Tyler Decker. And do we ever have another great show lined up for today? Liberty's club sports department is having another impressive year. The men's Division II hockey team has been knocking on the door of being one of the elite teams in the ACHA over the past 2 years. This season, the Flames dressed one of the best offenses in league, hoping that would be enough to claim their first ever national title. Many times on the show, we have featured stories about pro sports chaplains. Usually their jobs are spent behind the scenes, meeting and discipling players in their Christian walk. And Denver Nuggets chaplain Kyle Speller does those things. But what makes him different is his other responsibility, which isn't behind the scenes at all. Brenton Lynn has the story.
In NFL news, on Thursday, quarterback Robert Griffin III signed with the Cleveland Browns. It is a 2-year deal worth $15 million and includes a $3.5 million signing bonus and a $3.25 million guaranteed salary in 2016. Griffin was released by the Redskins on March 7th due to injuries sidelining him for all of 2015.